Hey everybody, on this Going Ike, we're out in the Yak and we're fishing my top 3 summertime patterns. Deeper, thicker, and current. Fish one of those 3 and you're gonna catch a lot of bass. Dude, these conditions are horrific. Like, this is hot, it's sticky, it's muggy. We're in the 90s today. Water temperature is in the upper 80s right now, okay? So this is hot as you're gonna get. This is summertime. So deeper, thicker current, deeper, thicker current. So right now we're fishing thicker. And you would say to yourself, you're like, okay, why the hell would these bass be in, look how shallow it is, 1.5 foot of water in these hot conditions? And the reason is the thick, they're not going to be in 1.5 foot of water in open water. They're going to be in 1.5 foot of water in thick cover. So matted grass, docks, big thick laydowns, trees, anything that creates cover. And here's the reasons. You're going to hear a similarity between deeper, thicker current. So they're under these thick mats because the water underneath of those mats is cooler and it's more oxygenated, right? Think about the shade, think about the plant life that's creating oxygen. Hear a frog in the background. They're under these shallow mats because of food. And that's one of the main things that you got to think about in the summer pattern. It's fish will be where their food is. So thick cover, deep water, current, all are places where the food stacks up. So shade, oxygen, food, it's a good combo. Oof. First bluegill bite I had, that's kind of a decent sign. Like I said, you got to be around their food. So if I start getting gill bites, it doesn't make me mad or anything because I'm like, ooh, that's a pretty good sign, we went a pretty long ways back there without getting really any kind of life. And come out here and have 2 bluegill bites pretty quick. I like that. Basically what I'm doing, and this is a soft stick bait. This is a Berkley Power Bait General. It's a 5-inch soft stick bait. I'm casting it weightless, but remember, stick bait's pretty heavy. And I also rigged it on a 4/0 Fusion, heavy gauge Fusion hook. So what's happening is this thing's sinking relatively fast and I'm getting to the bottom again, 4 to 6 to 8 feet of water in that range. But I'm really, really fishing extremely slow. So sometimes you can fish a soft stick bait, you can pop it. I've had times when I could buzz it on the top. But when I get in water that I know is mid 80s to 90 degree water temperature, I do a lot of dead sticking. So I'm dragging it, really dead sticking it. And about every third cast here, I'm feeling just like, like definitely not bass bites, but sign of life. So, it does. And here's the thing, it doesn't even matter what it is. It could be bluegill, it could be crappie, it could be yellow perch, it could be rock bass. It doesn't matter, but it's telling me that life is there, that circle of life. And at the end of the day, the reality of it is a bluegill, a sunfish, and a bass are in the same general family, right? So 99% of the time, when you find areas where you get little bites, that's where the bass are, or they're very close by, very close by. So we'll do a little hot lap in this basin, and then if we don't get bit here, we'll go to current, which I think is next logical thing, Another fish, but that one looks like a little bit of the wrong species. But here's the thing. This thing's eating the exact same thing that the bass is eating, right? Yeah, that's his chain pickerel. He's here for the same reasons. Bait, oxygen, cooler water. So, not a bass, but bite number 3 out here. I think that, you know, when you get one bite, you're kind of like, one bite's you're kind of like, it could have been dumb luck. Could have hit him on the head. But you get 2, then 3 bites. I'm still power pole down. Yeah, that's not a, what is that? Oh, God. We're going for the South Jersey Slam. Jeez, that's a big perch for this time of the year, dude. Look at that thing. It's on that micro chatter again. That thing's big, dude. Crazy. I didn't expect that out here. You hardly ever see them. Once the spawn goes away, it's like them things disappear, dude. Deeper. I mean, this is literally the deepest part of this lake, right where we're at. It's probably 7 feet right here. And slow roll, I went to a micro chatter, Mullick's micro chatter, with just a little Berkeley swim bait on the back. Our first bite. Put that down. Double click. All right, that proves it, guys. That's an 8-foot spike. Look how low the power pole is. So it's about 7 or 8 feet where we're at, and we got our first bite of the day. So not a big one, but nice keeper, and definitely a great example of one of the 3 things: hot, oppressive heat of the summer, July, August. Deeper, right? Deeper, thicker current. Deeper, thicker current. So we're able to get a bite deep. Once again, guys, that fish is living at 7 foot because there's more oxygen, the water's cooler, and there's food. Heard a couple boils. All this stuff now is on the plate. But watch this thing push. I tried to stay in that same line, but I mean, it's making a disturbance. It's actually pushing down on that mat. And that's how they find it. You know, like I said, there's caverns under there, so they can see and feel that push. And then when you get to open water, then you just can kind of kill it. Then you could fish it more like a regular frog, you know, but when it's in that mat, you want to push. I'll cast past it so you can focus on it. Oh my God, dude! Oh, please, stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. That's a big one. Oh my God. Stay on there. Stay on there. I can't even get him. He's so big. I got his ass. I got his ass. I got his ass. I got his power pole down. Dude. 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 That is why, right there, guys, that is why one of the main hot, heat, nasty, sweltering summertime patterns is thicker. If you think I'm lying, look at how far down that throat that frog is on that fish. So, deeper, we were out there, we caught a few. Cooler water, oxygen, bait, but thicker. Dude, that came out of the nastiest mat. I'm in 1.5 foot of water. The reason? Oxygen, shade, cooler water, and bait. Holy, it's a big one, dude. Holy, hear that blow up, dude? Look at the freaking Mullick's frog in his mouth, dude. I mean, it's gone. And that's a great example of why thicker is one of the summertime patterns, right? We were out in that deep water. We caught a few out there. They're out there because the thermocline, the cooler water, the oxygen, and the bait. But now we're in like a foot and a half of water. But under those mats, the water's cooler. It's got more oxygen. It's got the bait. And it's got the big bass. Yeah! Look at that thing, dude. God, he ate that thing. Holy smokes, that's a good one. That's 5 something all the way. Absolutely. Beautiful fish. Hot, 90 degrees, 89-degree water temperature. That's what we're looking for. Wow. That one was an amazing bite, dude. Amazing bite. Amazing bite. Choked down his throat. Deeper, thicker current. Deeper, thicker current. Sounds like a broken record. They stay shallow. Dude, it's almost 95 today. The water temperature for sure is 89-degree water temperature back here. But they're going to remain shallow if you have that thick cover. Vegetation, wood, brush, docks with a lot of walkways. And there ain't a better bait, in my opinion, in the summer for mats than a pushing frog. That's a mullet sneaking frog. See that weight on the belly, not on the tail? So it pushes. It's perfect bait. Yeah, a lot of times you'll see like you'll see like a shark. You'll see behind them. But that one like must have just been sitting right on the edge of that mat. And as soon as it got to that, he actually hit it right when it broke off to the clearing. And I mean, it was like the moment the frog cleared it, he just. Oh boy, look at that. Look at him eating that bluegill. Look, look, look. Holy sh! That makes me want to go over there. That bluegill was absolutely getting blown out of the water. Oh my God. Oh my God. He missed it. Dude, he'd come up out of the mat. It was either a giant pickerel or a giant bass. And he was as thick as you can get in that mat. Try again. Oh man. 2 misses. Got him! Giant bass! Giant bass! Oh my God! Got him! Giant bass! Giant bass! Oh my God! Giant, giant! I mean big! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Please stay on there. Ah! Ah! Yeah! Guys, that is why you go thick in the summertime. The hottest, dude, look at it. It's like bath water. The hottest water of the year. Deeper, thicker, or current. And that's what it does. Look at all the grass on his face. Another big giant one, guys. If you're not a believer in this one now, after watching this, you'll never be a believer. But that's that mullet sneaky frog. A little bit longer frog, almost like a walking bait. And if you look, it has the weight on the belly, not on the tail. And that makes it push. And that frog actually hit it twice. He came back and got it. And that's a giant, guys. Yeah! All right, guys, there you go. Beautiful summertime hot bass in the thick stuff, in the jungle. Yes. Wow. I think once we get up a little ways, we'll start to see a little more visible current. I'm sure there is some current here that we don't see, but I mean, I'm always just looking for current breaks, looking for things that get behind. Shade for sure. He come off. I had a bite and he come off. That's a good sign. It was a good bite too, dude. And if you look, this is a miss, but if you look, this is a typical current spot. So if you imagine this creek, the current's flowing toward my face, right? Look at this tree and how it sticks out and breaks the current. In addition, you've got shade. Like where that fish was at is very shady. All right, here's a little juicy tip, guys, about fishing these creeks. Even if you don't see the visible, obvious current flow, if you have any kind of floating sawdust or duckweed, it will mat on the face of this stuff, and it actually gives away where the current's at. So if you look on this piece, you've got duckweed, and look at those two big chunks of duckweed. Well, that's called the current face. And so if you know the current face, you know the current eddy behind it. So this is really good stretch. There's some more coming. I wish you guys could feel through the camera. So this is a pickerel. Dude, he's freezing cold, okay? In current, you have cool water, right? And that's a big reason that these fish will migrate. A lot of these aren't even residential fish. They're fish that are migrating to that current, whether it's a dam, tail race, dam release, whether it's a creek channel, whether it's wind. That wind, that is current is cooling the water, and they want it. Oh, here he goes. Way up a creek, in current, you have your final summer pattern. You know, we got up here, and a lot of times in these creeks in the summer, you have just gentle flow that comes out. A lot of times these are close quarters, but remember, the bends have deep water, they're undercut, they have shade, and with that current comes cooler water, more oxygen, and bait, what they're eating. So final pattern, when it's hot as heck, come up the creeks and you could definitely catch some summertime bass. Up here, because of the tight quarters, we switched to a jig. And one of the best baits for fishing this stuff, because you could flip it, you could pitch it, you could get it in holes, and you can swim it. So black and blue 1/2 ounce missile mini flip, that's that Shape 108 Berkeley power crawl style bait. So really good bait to fish up in these creeks. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Going Ike. We were out in the kayak and we were really fishing the 3 main summer patterns. Say it over and over and over. Deeper, thicker current, deeper, thicker current. Fish those 3 patterns this hot summer and you're definitely going to catch some more bass. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli. Thank you for watching Going Ike. I hope you learned something. While you're here, stop right now, hit that subscribe button. Become a subscriber to my channel. We have new content coming every single week. And while you're here, check out these other 2 videos. They're really, really good.